Today, after going away for a gap year, Multiversus is back and better than ever. Well, it's back anyway. This is CheckPoint. Welcome to CheckPoint. Is today your birthday?
No, is it your birthday?
Not at time of writing.
Well, happy birthday then.
Yes, to someone out there.
Cryptic.
No, just ordinal. Multiversus is a weird case. It originally released in what I would later learn was a year-long open beta, and by later, I mean when they disabled the beta and took the game away for a yet further year. But now it's back and different than ever. That's right, Multiversus has had some changes since the last time we saw it, changes that are making returning players say, okay, but why though? For example, unlocking new characters, which are no longer all unlocked for local co-op, is going to take you either time or money, which is pretty standard for free-to-play games, but the time aspect is mostly grinding on the PvE parts of the very PvP-focused game, to the extent that I learned Multiversus even had PvE content while writing this story. Also, why are there a bunch of features that were added during the beta based on player feedback that are missing from the full release? According to game director Tony Hyun, those features will return and only aren't there now because of the additional developer time needed to upgrade the game from Unreal Engine 4 to Unreal Engine 5. But why did they do that? The game seemed to be running fine on UE4, and apparently it's a little slower now, but I guess there must have been a reason for any of this, the year of beta, the year of retooling, changes to progression, and I don't think it's just money, as is usually the answer. Don't forget, publisher Warner Brothers saw the failure of their Suicide Squad game and immediately announced more focus on live service games. The execs might just be stupid.
Do you remember back in March when $400,000 worth of Panic's whimsical crank-handled PlayDate consoles disappeared in Las Vegas? According to Panic co-founder Cable Sasser, the mystery took on a bit of a true crime feel after FedEx confirmed that the consoles had been delivered just to a Circle K construction site instead of their intended destination, and when someone went to retrieve the shipment, it had already disappeared. Well, good news, the consoles are back. On May 30th, they reappeared, having been hastily dumped outside a restaurant. Panic hasn't shared many details yet, but they have promised a more in-depth write-up/podcast about how they work to get the consoles back, which implies it took Panic's active intervention to get their goods returned rather than just sitting back and letting the police handle it. I'm looking forward to learning more about the Panic staff's incredible John Wick-style antics as soon as their lawyer gives them permission to share, or the statute of limitations on their presumably very justifiable crimes runs out.
It's the beginning of the end for Destiny 2's main narrative as the Battle of Light and Darkness culminates in The Final Shape, the latest expansion for the long-running game, but that's if you can log in. Update day is always a shaky one on the old servers, true of most online games, but certainly of Destiny. However, this one has been worse than usual. A bit of suffering from success in this case, as Kotaku points out. 250,000 players were trying to connect all at once on Steam, which is pretty impressive considering the game's Steam peak was 316,000. And of course, that's only Steam. There are other ways to connect on PC, plus all the console players as well. And typically, these update day issues just mean you can't connect or can't matchmake to a mission with a variety of Bungie's hilariously named animal error codes, like porpoise, baboon, jerboa, and wombat. One of those wasn't real, bet you can't guess. No, the Final Shapes issues see players being kicked out mid-mission or even mid-cutscene. Eurogamer highlights one player who thought the narrative progression felt clunkier than Bungie's usual fare until they realized they'd fully missed 2 whole cutscenes and had to go to YouTube to find them. Bungie has since updated the game to allow these missions and scenes to be replayed in case you missed them, but that's not how they wanted this to go. And if you missed how we even got here, Destiny's stalwart YouTube loresmith, My Name is Bife, has released a Stories So Far video so you can catch up on all the stories so far. It's 10 hours long. Watch it while you wait to find a tower.
I love video games. They're an escape from the dreary reality of life. In video games, I can do anything. I can build a castle, I can save the world, I can even make a living wage. if I'm in the UK or Ireland, because that's right, IKEA, beloved purveyor of discount furniture and meatballs, is setting up a virtual storefront in Roblox, and they're hiring! And the amazing thing is, unlike the Roblox platform, which is designed to encourage and exploit child labor, IKEA will be paying its temporary remote Roblox workers €14.80 an hour, which is well above the current Irish minimum wage of $12.70 per hour for workers 20 as above, as part of its commitment to paying all its employees a living wage. Stated job duties at the Roblox IKEA include helping people shop for virtual furniture and feeding them virtual meatballs, and unstated ones obviously include forming lots of warm, fuzzy, pixelated IKEA memories in young children, as if the rapidly spiraling death cult of capitalism will ever afford Gen Alpha the chance to buy new things. Anyhow, love that working a menial job for a wage that you can actually survive on is now an aspirational video game goal, and so newsworthy that we, and lots of other places, are breathlessly reporting on it.
With the membrane of Roblox separating you from the customers and other employees, it's probably harder to get fired for insubordination.
Fucking watch me. Coming up, love video game TV shows? Good news, Amazon's next big video game adaptation is Like a Dragon. I bet the Mahjong and Shogi minigames will be just as thrilling in real life as killing Deathclaws and Super Mutants was in Fallout. Can't wait for the Dragon Cart subplot either.
If the Yakuza series does not dedicate a 6-episode arc just to running the little cars around the remote track or whatever, then what are we even doing?
Well, one of the big ones is the management sim minigame is probably one of the most fulsome ones, as I learned from looking up stuff about Like a Dragon for that story. That had way more entries on the wiki for all the things that you could do.
Today, after taking a gap year, sorry, I forgot what I was going to do there. If you guessed Jerboa, you were right. Wombat, baboon, and porpoise are all actual Destiny 2 error messages. Thanks to Foxmar for providing me a list of anteater, beaver, baboon, chicken, marmot, urchin. But then there's some that are also fruit and vegetables, like marionberry or arugula. I think whether they're animal.
Peppery snap.
Yeah, I think whether they're animal or vegetable depends on the kind of error.
Oh.
I think. Also, it seems to have stabilized now.
Yeah.
But it was
just everybody was trying to log in right at once.
Yeah, it was particularly egregious at one point. Yeah. Badger.
Mushroom.
You probably could do badger, mushroom, and snake now that I think about it.
I mean, is there badger, mushroom, and snake? It seems feasible. It seems like the kind of thing people would sneak in.
I'll have to go look for it, yeah.
That's that was the memes when we were children. That's what we got when we were young.
What I find interesting about the Multiversus story is that obviously, no one likes having to pay for things like the characters, but in the realm of free to play games, it's then you play the game and unlock stuff. And actually Ben says that it was not that.
Yeah, no, we got the full rundown from Ben Ulmer.
Yeah,
who described himself as a video game optimist.
Yeah, and he was saying that the actual grind was not necessarily that bad. But what I find interesting
I want from a video game is not that bad.
Yeah, what I find interesting is that most of the changes, they're not this is dog crap, you've ruined it. It's just why did you do this? I don't understand why they were we're going to move Unreal Engine. UE4 is fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't know why you would put yourself through a full engine upgrade as well as all the other stuff.
Because you could.
I'm sure I'm sure there's a stupid reason.
I assume.
There was a story that I wanted to do, but it would have just devolved into just basically reading someone's Twitter feed to you. Did you read this whole thread as well?
Which
about the Pokemon fan convention
yes.
in the Philippines?
I looked at it and was like, oh man, this seems like it's ripe for humor. And I was like, no, this would just be me summarizing some tweets. I wasn't there. It's not the true Willy Wonka experience that many headlines advertised it as.
So, well, what's funny is that, as Paul noted, the headline for the article on Kotaku at the moment is "This might be the Fire Festival of Pokemon fan conventions."
Oh, right.
It was originally published with the headline "Pokemon fan convention is the new Glasgow Wonka experience."
Yeah, but it wasn't really. It was more of a fire festival, kind of like it's just a run-of-the-mill, poorly organized convention. We've had this before. See the DashCon ball pit, except like it's all very funny.
Yeah,
but it wasn't like. We hired a bunch of actors at the last second to garble out AI nonsense and scared the shit out of children by accident.
Yeah.
Kind of like level of train wreck.
It's worth. There's a very entertaining thread, at least, that you should go read. I'll put the Twitter username on screen. That it does go through. Like, I was just reading it and I was just going, oh yeah, yep. This seems like a horrendously mismanaged convention by people who have no idea what they're doing.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it seems a lot less. It's not good.
No.
To be fair,
no.
I'm not forgiving the organizers anything, but it feels less malicious than the
Wonka
experience.
The Wonka experience was like, how can we cut every corner possible and rip as many people? I had no doubt that this Pokemon convention started out with good intentions.
Yeah.
And just was, a failure, a cascade failure from start to finish in planning and execution.
Yeah. It was only that.
Yeah.
The cosplay group that they had running the cosplay events didn't really seem to know about Pokemon, which is a absolutely baffling thing for a cosplay group to not like be up on Pokemon at all.
I mean,
but
I don't
know.
Maybe they're League cosplayers. Maybe they are cosplaying that $500 skin. Probably not. People are mad about that. We talked about that last week.
We talked about that. We didn't talk about how people are now like there are pockets of League players who have agreed to like if they see someone in game with the $500 skin to like vote kick them. Be like, no, we're not playing with you.
I feel like this is bullying, but
yeah, but sometimes a little cyberbullying is maybe okay.
Sometimes it's good to be reminded that there are limits into what you are allowed to let companies get away with, and that you should be like not simping that hard for a company. And
$500.
It's like the equivalent of being like, buddy, don't. Come on. They already think they own us.
Yeah.
Don't suck up to them anymore.
It's
Get
like
off your knees.
that Escape from Tarkov thing that we talked about a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Where there was like the really expensive package.
Yep.
And they had to add a thing where you could hide. Like part of it was that you got like a special thing on your profile because you're a cool person.
Yeah.
Which they had to actually add a thing so you could
Disable?
optionally hide because people were targeting people who had bought the thing.
It's like if you paid for a Twitter blue check, but they were like, but you don't have to display it.
Yeah.
It's just like, because you know that people are going to rip on you for, for paying Twitter. We, tomorrow, if you're watching this on day of airing, tomorrow we have a special chill point. Paul and I are going to be co-streaming the Summer Game Fest, which we have been told to temper expectations. I don't know. Did you see this article, Paul? I didn't. This also was not worth doing a CheckPoint story about, but basically Jeff Keighley was like, it's not going to be there's nothing there's nothing groundbreaking to see. Just so everyone's like, I don't want you to watch it and then be disappointed. So I'm going to tell you now that it's like mid.
Okay. Well, hold up. My crap dancing fingers here are about the level of entertainment that you should be expecting from the Summer Game Showcase. But did you see the thing that came out today where how much it costs to get your game trailer in the showcase?
I did not.
This has hit the Twitters today. It is $500. It's like $250,000 to get like a short trailer and going up to like $500,000. But apparently, if you're friends with Jeff or Cool, you don't necessarily need to pay those prices.
It would be great to pay $500,000 to get your trailer in the showcase, and then Jeff Keighley is like, "Yeah, there's not going to be really anything
Yeah,
good there."
temper your expectations. That was many of the tweet takes I saw going around was like, imagine paying $250,000 to Jeff Keighley and then to him saying, there's not that much great stuff coming. What an incredible racket this man runs. Gaming industry. I will host your program, and I will do it for like, I don't know.
A reasonable and appropriate fee.
Yeah, like pay me $15,000 and I will give you honest feedback on a bunch of trailers. And you'll get to see your trailer, and people will get to see my cheerful and welcoming personality. And they'll know that anybody who uses this service is not a fucking coward.
So anyway, look forward to Paul and I watching the Summer Games Fest tomorrow. They keep emailing us being like, do you want to be a co-streamer? And I was like, fine, yes, we'll because it happened to work out. Beej and Heather are away, so it was going to be Paul and I tomorrow. And it was not like a Newsweek rife with stuff. So I was like, yeah, we'll co-stream the Summer Games Fest. Why not? But it's mostly just watching trailers.
Yeah.
Anyway, everything we do here at Loading Ready Run's brought to you by you and your kind support of our Patreon at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun, or by becoming a member on this very YouTube channel, or any of our YouTube channels, but the ones on this one are the names you're going to see shortly. Ha ha! All right, bye.